Mr. Matan Porat, you are performing the Schumann Piano Concerto this week with the Helsinki Philharmonic and conductor Susanna Mälkki. What are your first personal memories of this concerto?
Well, this concerto is very special for me. I think it's a wonderful work by a composer that writes very, very intimately, and this is not just piano in a heroic form that is against the orchestra, but mainly chamber music, actually. There are so many instances that I am the accompanist, actually, and it's very, very beautiful to make music like that.
Yeah, and it has a very interesting role in the history of piano concerto because it was premiered by Clara Schumann in 1845.
Yeah.
And before that, or in the beginning of the 19th century, the stereotype for piano concerto was the Mozart concerto.
Yeah.
And then composers started to break that.
Yeah.
And Schumann kind of summed up the developments that had happened in the genre before. Can you relate to that as a
Well,
performer?
it's of course a completely different type of concerto than also Beethoven, and I think it's a kind of pivotal work between Mozart and Beethoven and Brahms and forward. So it's a really central piece.
Yes, it's like a bridge between
the
development of the. Yeah. What are the challenges for performer in this concerto?
Well, although it's not as virtuosic as a Chopin concerto or Prokofiev, you need to be very concentrated all the time. Even as you are playing accompaniment, you always need to be inside and listen and react, and also, of course, lead all the way.
You play a lot of recitals too, and chamber music. Do you make a difference as a musician? Is it different to play different kinds of concerts?
Yes, I think chamber music, of course, your role as a pianist is very, very different. When I play solo with orchestras, I need to be more leading, and when I play recitals, I'm telling a story, and each form of music is a completely different type of role for me.
Okay. You have a very, very interesting concept for a recital program. It's also on CD. Tell me about these variations on a theme by Scarlatti.
Variations on a Theme by Scarlatti was my first CD. I took a short sonata of Scarlatti that sound to me like a theme, like a Goldberg variation theme. And the special thing about this short sonata that it uses a motive, the lamento motive, that is very prominent in all classical music, which is up or down second, and all the pieces that follow from Couperin until Boulez all have this motive as their main component, and all relate to each other. So it's a journey of pieces throughout the repertoire of piano.
You have played other recitals with the same concept, or you plan to?
Yes, also my next project that I'm recording next month is called Lux. It's a program of pieces that all relate to light, from morning to night. And again, I like to do pieces that connect to each other and form a narrative, rather than separate pieces that doesn't have things to do with each other.
You also do improvisation a lot. You compose and that you play the piano.
Yes.
How do these different things relate to each other or feed each other?
I would say that it's very schizophrenic. Whereas I play chamber music or play solo, that's one thing. But when I compose, I'm a different person. So I think they don't really have things to do with each other. And I can compose, of course, only when I don't have concerts. So it's a time of a year that is only dedicated to composition.
How do you plan that in advance?
So in advance, every season I have 1 or 2 months that I don't have concerts, and that's when I compose.
Are you working on a composition right now?
Now I'm writing a string quartet for Doric Quartet, and I have 1 or 2 commissions per year.
Do you get specs from the commissioners that we want you to write this kind of piece and incorporate these elements, or?
Mostly not. I just actually wrote another quartet for the Casals Quartet, and this was for their Beethoven cycle, so I had to relate to a Beethoven quartet. But usually it's free. Which
situation is easier? The totally free situation or to get some sort of limits?
If I have limits, is always easier for some reason. It's easier because I have then more imagination to what to do with it.
And so, after Helsinki, what's next in your concert program?
I'm playing a recital, actually a very classical recital of Debussy, Rameau and Schumann. This is in Israel and Cyprus.
All the best for your recitals and compositions, and thank you for coming to Helsinki.
My pleasure.
Thanks.
Thank you.